All right, man. Welcome back, man, to No Cap, man. Your host, Chicago King Dave. Got both of my hosts here, Skrill Bush, Mr. Six Rings himself, Bomb.
Yes, sir.
Adonius here, and I got Purdue Coach Carter. So, basically, today, guys, I want to get right into it, and I want to talk a little bit about the violence that's going on in Chicago. Last week, I seen the bus driver got pulled off the bus downtown. Millennium Park, you see it?
Nah, that's...
What? No, you see that?
I don't watch TV.
No?
I don't watch TV.
I think it was in the news today. Got charged with carjacking or something.
Yeah.
I mean, bus jacking.
Yeah. So basically, I want to ask you two guys. Adonius here, he's into mental health. Purdue Carter, he's into real estate and stuff like that. So I want to know, like, does the violence in Chicago affect, like, your business?
Yeah, today I went to one of the properties I'm flipping, and the workers called me like the window bust out, and we see some people moving in the property. This was at 7 in the morning, so I had to get over there. So the window was bust. I called the police. I ain't want to run in there. But luckily it was just 2 people in there. They was chilling, asleep, and they came out. But man, around this time, people taking refrigerator, stove, breaking the properties. And of course, properties won't sell if somebody just got shot in front of them. People like, oh, that's the crib somebody just got.
Yeah.
So.
Is that squatter activity?
Yeah, but these people just left though. When the police saying they got a heat in their hand, and they just left. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because you actually have problems with
Oh
squatter
yeah,
activity, right?
somebody just, if they stay there and move stuff in, you got to evict them like they got right.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
And so somebody can take over your crib.
Wow.
And then you got to go through the eviction process if they got their stuff in there. It's your word against their word.
So you got to go to court like they got a lease?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can't just kick them out. You can't cut the heat and lights off on. You got to go through the whole court process for your attorney, get them evicted. So they could be in there for months.
Yeah, so who invented that law? Like, where did that come from? That's just a law that they just made?
Yeah. Hey, listen, Chicago don't want to deal with the homelessness themselves, so they leave it on the landlords. Like, you deal with it. If everybody get kicked out, where we gonna put them? They're gonna be downtown making us look bad.
You know, so you telling me, like, if you like renovating a property, you want to spend $40,000, somebody break in, now you got to spend another $12,000, $10,000 to evict them.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That
sounds
Man, that's deep right there.
Yeah, that's cold.
So speaking of the violence, you asked, does the violence help my business? In one sense, it really does. It helps the government and system see that there's a need, right? And I provide help for that need. I look for the need. I'm here to show up for the need. Unfortunately, you can't monitor how well effectively is my program working or not because it's supply and demand. So you have a demand for help, but we lacking the supply, right? So we talking about progress. Progress can only be monitored by purpose. So me, myself personally, I'm Adonius B. Johnson. I'm a self-empowerment coach, transformation coach, right? So I deal with mental health. Mental health is basically choices and decisions, right? It's more than just, it's not really mental health. It's actually, what are you doing to be mentally healthy? See, we have a habit of looking at things that we see. So we want what we don't have. So once you put the power on what you want, you lose the power on what you have.
Right.
When that transpires and that takes place, then that's when you end up with chaos. You know, you end up with chaos because you want something, but you can't create what it is you want. So there's a lack of understanding. So I just want to drop some food on the table and get everything going so we can all see how it all come together and why my purpose and how I came back and wanted to go into this particular area is for the reason of the dude that was on the bus. That probably was me on that bus. Pulling that dude off that bus.
Right.
Now, the question is, why did he put him off the bus? See, we have the what, but we don't have the why. We do shit out of what, but we still don't understand why. Right. And when you ask your kids or you ask children, why did you do this? They say, I don't know.
Yeah.
What you mean you don't know? I don't know, meaning I don't have a why to support my what.
Right.
And that's what we talk. That's how we learn. We learn to look at things, we hear things, we act out things, but we never take time out to ground ourselves. To be a disciple of anything, it's really self-discipline.
So I got a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
While we was prepping for the show and they was getting the camera, I saw you, I felt you in deep thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I felt you formulating, you know, like you already know what you want to say.
Yeah.
So the question I want to ask you, what personal life experiences made you get in this field of line of work as you're doing?
Well, it's called self-awareness.
Right.
You know, most of the time we're not aware of self. Self is something you have to manifest. So we live in life according to the rules and regulation that was put over us like a child. So as a child, you think about grammar school, high school, right? You don't choose none of the curriculums. You going to school. You're in your parents' house. You ain't worrying about light bill, gas bill, taxes, when your parents going on a vacation. You ain't learning about none of that, right? Because you dependent upon what's over you, right? Never asking, do you need money for groceries or anything? But in your mind, you're saying to yourself, when I get my own, when I get up out of here, you go to church, when I do this right here, and I'm just showing you the programming. Because I got 3 steps. It's called you learn, you unlearn, you relearn. So right now, learn is self-realization. And that's me looking at the environment that I've been placed in and recognizing that poverty or poor is the mentality. It's not money. It's actually the mentality and how well you think. So if you really up under something all majority of your life, then you conform to a pattern based off a routine of consistency. So you never was taught to think. So what happened with myself is that I was the dude that was on the bus, but unfortunately, just like the flipping, my bro right here, that's the coach, I was in the real estate, right? I not only had real estate, I had uniform stores. I mean, I was always outside the box. When I went to jail for $40, they put a felony on me that was non-expungible. But I didn't go to the streets. I just figured out the problem wasn't me, it was with the system. So I made myself a system.
Right.
See, that's what taught me responsibility and to be careless about what anybody think. So going into the entrepreneur aspect of it, life road, Maserati boats and everything, right? But I'm still in Chicago. The environment didn't change. The mentality didn't change. So what happens is one day, I was on my way into my business, going to open up my store, and I just collapsed and went into a 5-day coma. When I get out the 5-day coma, I had a mental meltdown. People are asking you, what the hell happened? You don't know, because you checked out. But when I was up there, that's how I know he real. I didn't want to come back, because I was told, get to heaven, see God, that's it. But the moment you let go of life, is the moment your ass find life. And at that point, he sent me back to a place I didn't want to come back to. Right. And from there, as I explained today many a time, that's where life got dark for me. Because I lost everything that had value. Things that I used to go, places I used to go, I was scared to go now, you know, looking at things. And so I was shipped literally to California on a one-way ticket. Jumped out a second-floor window, 2 failed suicides. You know, that's called a point of no return. That means I just don't want to be here. Ain't nothing here, period. There's no adding to what I want to do, just subtracting to what I want to do.
You say, you committed suicide? You tried?
Twice, bro. I was on the news in Roger Park. I locked myself in the house 2 weeks because I'm hearing voices, couldn't figure the shit out. You hearing things, you seeing things.
Mental
I'm being led.
Problems?
No, bro, listen. Mental illness is good for what you're stating. That is a mental illness because you don't have the why to the what. You know, what's wrong, right? You have to be able to tell me what's wrong. But when you don't know, right, that's an illness because you don't have the understanding to put that.
You don't know what to solve.
Huh?
You don't know what to solve, right?
Right, you don't have, you don't know, somebody asking you something, but you don't have the answer in your head because nobody put it there because nobody taught you to think. You see, what plus y equals your results. So just to make a long story come clear, is that after that, I was shipped away from my family, and I was forced to live in isolation. And that's why I created the book, I Am My Life Coach. So when you say purpose, I unlearned everything. That was self-realization is what I learned. To unlearn it is called self-discovery. To relearn is called self-recovery. So when you sitting here talking to me, it's like GD, growth and development. You grow into a man, but you need to develop the man that you grew into. So I'm looking at your value like he look at property. So when they broke into the property, they brought the value down. That's how people hijack your thoughts. Relationships, women, men. You break into a relationship and you destroy a good woman, which is what my brother Dave be talking about. Or you jack somebody for his mental and say, bro, come get this money. And I keep putting money in your head, money in your head, money in your head. Then you done sold your soul. Because your soul consists of your thinking, your free will, which is choice, and your emotions.
So look, you just spoke about hearing voices. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how did that occur? Like, what were you going through that made you start hearing voices?
I think I started talking to myself. So talking to myself is why the book is called I Am My Life Coach. Talking to myself was talking to the God in me. That was the spirit. You see? So we hearing a voice, but see, in the last days of the book of Quran, I believe it teaches, but I know the Bible teaches it. It says, in the last day, I'm going to pour my spirit out on your kids. Now, guess what? I'm not going to give you my spirit because you rejected it with your ignorance. Ignorance is the thought of not knowing. So I'm going to put on what's for you on your kids, and I'm going to let you see why you should have taught them how to handle what it is I'm about to give them. So now they hearing damn voices and shit like I did. And the first thing I did is ran and jumped straight out the second floor window. So I got stitches all on my back, my foot, been in 5 sight boards, straight jacket, right? Now keep in mind, I went from flipping, buying, you know, I done had 4 units, 7 units, had the nightclub, got the stores popping up all over Chicago. Nobody knew me because I didn't have a name for myself. But it took me to make that choice to discover myself. And once I discover myself, my name has to mean something. And when I put myself back together like he rehabbed a property, that brings the value up. So the voices that I heard was actually God leading me by being me. But he can't lead you until you become you. And that's self-realization. That's being honest, that you played a part in the shit that's going on. You just run from the problem because you ain't made a choice to realize your condition is based off of your choice.
I want to switch up a little bit and switch over to the dude. You call yourself the closer, like in baseball. Why do you call yourself the closer?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing before we switch. He ran off the second floor window. Man, that was like the 8th floor.
Yeah.
In trouble.
Different. You said I ran what?
That was the second floor window. If that was the 8th floor, you would have been in trouble, right?
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying, though, coach, is that it doesn't matter if it was the second floor, it was the 8th floor, that was the highest floor I was on at the time of my life. Some of us, we ain't even went up a floor. And we figure we on ground level, we ain't done nothing yet.
But these people that jump from the first floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. But anyway,
Go ahead.
Coach the closer, I don't complain, I close. I call myself the closer because that's what I do. I don't complain about, a lot of agents complain about the process. This person, they do this, just get the deal closed. And that's what I
So that's why you go by the closer then.
closing the deal.
So how long you been involved in real estate?
I've been involved in real estate for about 20 years, and I had my own brokerage for about 12 years.
Okay, what's a brokerage?
A brokerage
Explain
is
a little bit for the viewers.
A brokerage is like a real estate company, like you see Remax. I own a black-owned brokerage called Dream Spots.
Okay.
All right, and we've been open for 12 years, and right now we started off with 3 people, and now we got like 98.
71st, right?
Started off on 71st.
On the east side.
Yes, sir.
Remember that.
Yep. I'm from the, I went to CVS with this brother. I'm a little older than him, 97. But yeah, that's the area. I knew that area. Back when people was like, East Side crazy, terrorists, don't go over there. I was in there. Now everybody want to come there, right? Tiger Woods building the golf course, the Obama Center, everything's popping now. And I knew it was the only place in Chicago where you still had affordable waterfront properties. So I knew I had to come up.
Right, so you got in on the right time.
Yeah, coach. So he spoke on, poverty and being poor, and actually had mishaps while he was doing good with properties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you run into anything about, poverty and poor? How do you stay afloat being the real estate mogul you are? Because from what I saw, you're a mogul. So how do you stay on top of being that he had mishaps in his life? How do you stay on,
Yeah, the mentals and everything.
Yeah.
Go. So you know what? It's real estate is like every other business. So I said I started 20 years ago. So I started before the crash in 08.
Yeah.
Right? I was in the properties, buying, flipping heavy, and I got caught. I had about $100 $100 and some thousand tied up for properties, and I couldn't get them sold because all of a sudden the bank stopped lending. Things went crazy. So I had the properties I was working on. Luckily, I was working with this bank. It was back in the day called URB. They'll let you buy the properties with them. They took them back, but they didn't give me no foreclosures or anything. So I had to go back. I played sports in high school and college, so I had a degree in physical education and health. So, you know, here I am making a couple $100,000 in the month. Now I have to go back to teaching for $50,000 a year.
Yeah, that's a humbling experience.
You know, kids kicking you like, hey. But you know what? You know, I don't mind doing that, and that's the unique thing about me. I take risks because I don't. What's the worst thing? I'm gonna go back and be a teacher? How horrible is that? Like,
well, hey, don't take my job away from me now. That's what I do. I teach now. I mean, at the same time, I teach. So that's what they call me, a self-help teacher. I'm actually in the Chicago public schools now teaching character and attitude.
Good.
So
we need that.
Like, let me say this. First of all, you know, congratulations. It's a lot of strong black men in one room right now. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing black men. You know, you know, we got brother with the hookah bar. You know, Dave.
Yeah.
Like to overcome the challenges, like what you like as black men. You know what I'm saying? First, and then Chicago second. Then like we want to be successful for whatever reason. People want to be successful, right? And that come with a stigma. You know what I'm saying? Like because you putting yourself out there every day. You know what I'm saying? You sharing the state. You telling people I'm a real estate mogul, and you putting yourself out. You being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying about your life experiences. That causes a space for you to be looked at, judged, and probably even attacked. Correct? You know what I'm saying? So, like man, like if y'all could touch on that, any one of y'all, you know what I'm saying, at any given time.
I'll go first. Keep it brief. It's just with myself. I look at. I like to study environments, just like Coach over here, right? And I believe we under human error, right? Human error is we just do shit the wrong way. We want the right thing, but we're doing the wrong thing.
Agreed.
That's human error. But I'm attached into real estate because I had my own brokerage company. I was an investor with my partners called Impeccable Interest, right? I was doing real estate at my house built from the ground at 24 out in Matson in Ridgeland Manor. So, but I was after something different. I was after family. You know, family, love, peace, joy, that's it, right? I didn't want money. Money never was something I was after, right? Money is a way to keep score. But we under human error, but we got to look at it and start looking at people as human capital. You see, you have many jewels and things in you, you just ain't discovering. So most of the time, you looking outwardly, but what your gift is and your treasure is inwardly. So I had to first learn myself, and that's how I knew everybody in this room. Because it didn't matter. We all created the same, but we think different. So if I work on character, we all men, but what type of men are you? So somebody asked me this question, and what I stated was, I said it depends on the moment. It was an older guy. He said, what the hell you mean a moment? I said, well, based on whatever that situation is going to determine what type of damn man I'm going to be. Am I going to be a lazy man because I didn't want to get up? I'm going to be a lying man. You know, it's not that you're cheating. It's when you don't want to do it the right way to get the substance so that I can give you something back in return. So I just view my life as an asset now. And I just say, I don't go against people. I go against the system. But I'm a system going up against the system versus a person going up against the system. A lot of time we look at the system and we want the system to do more for the people, but we don't want people to do more to create their own system. See, if you create your own system, then you have power to negotiate because you have something to bring to the table.
Leverage.
Correct. That's called substance. So he can't get you no property or get you the dream house or the dream whatever until you first recognize what a damn dream is. And I'm not talking about Martin Luther King's dream because his dream happened, but his ass ain't here. You know, so if you remove the doctor off his name, you remove his wife, which is marital values, you remove the initials off the end, he went to school, you can break him down and see the things that made him who he is to even have a dream. But he could have been selfish and just said, I'm finna take my family, I'm going to Cali, give me a crib, that's it. and no purpose served. He probably still be here.
Right.
So when you have a bigger purpose, man, I just think that human capital is how can we bring the value back up in his property. So when he buying the flip, you try to buy it for the low, fix it back up and flip it and put it back out there. And I think that when it comes down to us, if I could drop something on the table real quick is one, knowledge. Understand what knowledge is. That's just information. That's education. We want to keep getting more information, but we ain't doing shit with the information because we don't comprehend it. We don't comprehend the Quran. We don't comprehend the Bible. So if you don't comprehend, that's called understanding. My people are perished because of lack of knowledge and understanding. We don't understand what the hell you're saying. So it's senseless. But Jesus, which is a teacher, public speaker like me, let those that have ears, let them hear. Because everybody ain't trying to hear.
Can you give us an example of making oneself a system? Like,
But shit, I'm the example.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I am the example. A system is what this brother have. I mean, I watched him. I watched him. I watched Dave. You know, and just because you don't have to be there to be able to point to someone. Everybody can go on their phone, right? You are who it is in your phone. You can hit a button and literally call somebody halfway around the world, right? That's how we think. I can see it's called mental telepathy. So I can sit here and think a thought, and it'll pop up in his head right there because we the same if we on the same frequency. So what I like to look at him and see as a representation, and him as a representation as well as you brothers, any person in here, is can I get you to a higher level of self? That's all I want. Because if I get your ass to a higher level of self, you will give me everything. But we operate on lower self. Lower self is lower poverty. So you ain't getting nothing down here. But what Dave opened it up with is somebody pulls somebody off the bus. Lower self, right? Somebody trying to hire the value in their work, but I'm on my job and somebody pulling me off my job. You know, me trying to be better, I'm doing what I'm doing, but shorty over here like, can you buy me a drink? You know what I'm saying? I ain't ever buy you no damn drink. You know, I don't got time to be drinking right now. I got shit going on in my mind. What's up, Coach? Talk to me, man. I see
I'm sucking it in.
Yeah.
So, like,
Hey, man,
so,
he's spitting game.
Yeah.
so like Coach Carl, you just shared this stage with ET, right?
Yeah.
How was that coming from Chicago? Brother coming from Chicago?
Oh man, you know, I've been around them for a while now, but you know, when I look at it, it's amazing. And when you stop and think, you know how it go though. When you're doing it, you don't, you know, when you playing the game, you don't stop and watch the game as much.
Come on, man.
But when you do take time, you're like, oh, that was pretty cool, man. And then your question, it was like, how is it moving in Chicago? Trying to be exposing yourself, being on a different level. That was your original question, something like that. And you know, that could be tough in this city. Because I look at other cities like you was talking about Atlanta, they out there free and all kind of whips, and I be very selective with what kind of car I get. I gotta stay. I try to be clean but basic. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a target. But you know, in Chicago, I've been different now. I made it through Chicago. Went to, like I said, I went to CVS.
Are you in Atlanta now?
No, I'm in
okay.
Chicago. I went to CVS, Prime Violence and Sex. I lived on 81st and Muskegon in the B's. I never gang banged, never had a drink in my life, never smoked in my life. So I always just been moving my own, you know, my own way. So even with this, you know, then I just move on my own.
Look, I just heard you speak about Atlanta being like different from Chicago. Like, why is Chicago stuck in like this type of hole? Why all of us, we know that this going on, but we don't have no type of solution about it. But I hear everybody speak on it. Even me, I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't came up with a solution. Everything that I've tried don't work.
we need some of these.
Bring that right there, man. There go the solution right there.
Some of them.
How do you get the people who
Well, here we go.
like the dude who pulled dude off the bus to get that?
Yeah.
Let me show you.
That's the most important.
Now let me show you something, Dave, about what you just said, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna show you something about what you just said. You see, I lived in Florida. I lived in Georgia, Smyrna. I lived in Arizona. I was shipped to California. Out of all these other
That sounds like a
places,
song.
yeah, right. All these places, I never went out. I never went out to the club. I never done anything. No footwork and no dancing. No nothing, big homie. You know what I'm saying? But when God came, I'm a believer. I don't believe in religion. I believe in relationship. What I was lacking was relationship with self, right? It took me to be by myself to discover myself. When I put myself back together, guess what he told me? Go back to Chicago. I didn't adopt, like, I'm the founder of a coaching company, right? That's why I said transformation coach, right? Life coach, self-empowerment coach. I specialize in all these areas, but I spent the last 9 years studying myself, right? Inward to outward. When I came back to Chicago, right, I literally didn't go out. I rewrote the patterns. I didn't go nowhere that I used to go to. Stayed in the house, worked on my own stuff. Credit score was a 4 something. The other one was a 502, no credit. I never went into like foreclosure or a repossession, but I never use credit either. You know, I own property, but when I cashed out, it was about the money, but it never was about myself. So when I had to put myself back together, that's how I learned. I taught myself. I didn't want to go, you know, have somebody fix my credit, but you didn't show me your credit. You know, you can't sit here and train me at the gym and you don't train yourself. And see, we like to hear shit.
Are you
And
him?
I need to get to this.
yeah. But see, you want to see my work and thinking you helping me, but the only way you can help me is to show me you got it. So when it came down to myself, I made sure that everything I was doing for 1.5 years straight, that I had that substance. So I'm going to show you this check right here. I'm going to show you how to do magic of manifestation, right? What plus Y equals results. It's the same thing. I could walk into any one of my classes and say, what plus, they'll be like, why, what that equal? Everybody open up. Results. Because when you know what you want, you got to understand why you want it. That's what's going to manifest what it is into the natural realm. So me coming back and me looking at, you know, the different things that I was building, right? I never built me. So when I tell my sons, you don't have to be the smartest person, but you're going to need personality. You're going to need character. You're going to make people like you by going beyond the minimum. We do the minimum, so we get minimum wage. You get minimum friends. So when I learned relationships, bro, this is the best thing I could tell you. It's the best secret. He brought me back here. I learned myself. I couldn't expect for Chicago people to be my friend. I had to be their fucking friend. And to me to be their friend, I was giving them more with nothing coming back. But guess what? I tapped into another law called sowing, reaping. See, you give, so you receive. But I don't receive from him. I receive from him.
Exactly.
And that's the law of that goes with the universe. What you give is what you get back.
So I got a quick. So as you was talking, something came to my mind like purpose. Like I know real estate ain't your purpose. What's your purpose behind you being successful in real estate? Like,
You know
what I'm saying? Like,
you got it right
real
there.
estate is just,
You got it right there. Yeah, you got it right there.
There you go. Tell me your purpose.
Yeah.
Flip
Flip it with a purpose.
Living with a purpose.
When I teach people, even when they flipping to get the money, it got to be deeper than
You got to relate something to him like
Right.
you do you.
Yeah.
You know I'm tapping his ass with the dance shit.
I'm instigating.
Yeah, you know, I'm getting him up to speed right
You
now.
know what I'm saying? Like when the inward and the outward come to
Emancipation of the black.
No, flipping with a purpose, like purpose. Nah, human got to be purpose driven, like my man talking about. It got to be more than money, whatever you do. My purpose, really, my purpose is really to give back to the community, try to help people, stop pulling people off the bus, and teach people a way that they can make money that they think only athletes and rappers can make.
Yes.
And legally in real life,
Yes.
right? So
We need
I'm
that.
teaching people how to make $50,000 in 4 to 6 months. And I'm doing it with people that grew up in the same places I grew up. A couple of my guys just flipped properties. You know, and when you get that $50,000 check in your hand, you know, you equipped. And now you can teach your kids how to do this. And like what we say in real estate, you already, look, I just brought this out. You already caught my slogan. But I'm in real estate because
Putting roofs over your head never go out of style. It's forever.
So this is a business that you can be comfortable diving all your energy in because is shelter ever gonna go out of style? Having this heat, having this roof over my head is never gonna go out of style. So real estate is a great vehicle to learn, because you could be confident that you're not doing this and you learn it from nothing. It's a lot of things that's here and gone. And real estate not one of them. It's been here since we was born. It's gonna be here after we leave. But the purpose is just a change of mindset, create generational wealth, and he's talking about the spirit and body. And property's the same. It started with the foundation.
You told me that earlier too.
Tell him again, bro.
Tell me
Tell him again, bro. I said I was waiting on him to come in here. So when he tried to school me, it's like, well, you know,
He said that's the same.
It's the same.
He said it's the
Honestly,
same thing.
it's the same thing. You read. He mentioned it a few times, but when I think about it, it is so much the same. And when a young person do it, they can relate to it. Because you take an eyesore, people pass that property like this one. Like if I pull a young group up, like this is the property we're gonna do. They like, this ugly thing, we start fixing it up. It's getting better and better each time.
So that was my reason for having both of y'all on the show.
Okay.
He teaching you how to build your mind and create the foundation, and you teaching people about money and how to build the structure as well. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can get money and then end up losing because they ain't have a foundation. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be mentally prepared to even have money. You got to be mentally prepared to live on earth. So that's why I picked both of y'all.
Well, that's
You know what I'm
good.
saying? I just feel like y'all just went
naturally,
hand in hand.
naturally
You know what
flowed
I'm saying?
in. You ain't even lead us into it.
No, because it's something that the black community needs to know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I want to know this. What made you start flipping houses? Like, you attended college? I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
What
so what
Okay. So here,
you graduate from college?
yeah, degree, everything.
So you graduate from college, what? You get your degree, what? You struggling?
No. So this the story. I went to school to be, I was playing sports, and I wanted to be a gym teacher and a football coach.
What school, coach?
Well, I went to NIU. I graduated from
No,
North. Yep. So when I graduated, I knew teachers didn't make a lot of money, so I asked people around, like, man, what can I do to get extra money? Look, you got the book, bro. I'm not trying to teach.
Don't make a lot.
You know, I was getting 50. That ain't bad.
You
right?
bought it. That's all good, bro. Go ahead.
I was there.
Go
And I
ahead.
was just asking people, what can I do? And then I had a buddy. He was into real estate. Then one of my cousins. They were like, man, get into real estate. So I got into real estate just knowing how to buy property and collect rent. Like just being a landlord. So I had a building on the west side of Chicago. Tenants driving me crazy, paying late, but I was getting an extra $1,000 after I paid my mortgage. So I was just collecting about extra $12,000 a year. Somebody put a note on my door. I didn't know nothing about flipping. Somebody put a note on my door like, we want to buy this property. I didn't know if it was real or not, but look, some told me to call it. I took action. I called that number. Me and my man negotiated back and forth. He hit me with a low number at first. I was like, man, I'm keeping this property. Boom, about 2 weeks later, we came up with a number. I sold him the property. After my mortgage got paid off, I walked out with $80,000. I was 23
Never
years
turned
old.
Never turned
That's
back.
how I got them.
Never turned
I said,
back.
I'm no longer a gym teacher
Never turned
or a
back.
landlord. I'm now
So that 80K, did you go see some strippers or anything? Or you went right back into the
the
business?
80K, I took it right back in the game, and I made 250 in like 2 months.
Okay, cool.
And
You're a
then-
smart man.
And then the market crashed.
Back to a
And
teacher.
then I was like, man, I know I was making 50,000. I knew I could live like 4 or 5 years off that. I had about 3. I knew I was gonna live about 4 or 5 years, but like 7 months after that 3 was gone, I had to go back to work.
Teacher again, it's
Hey,
okay.
coach.
Yeah.
And can you drop this, random, can you drop, it's short, the analogy about the glass door is dope that people need to hear, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking you to drop
Look,
it.
this man been doing research real.
Yeah,
got to.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
People need to hear the analogy, but it's
So-
the reason behind it.
Yeah, so I put a story up. I went to when I spoke with ET, I went to this resort. I was in they had the speakers up in the VIP section in Mexico. Everything you want there. So we had a special band, and there was a glass door. The rest of the resort, you had to put the band up to open this glass door, right? So boom, everybody was going boom. The people without the band, they had to turn around because they couldn't get through the glass door without the VIP band. And then one lady though, she just walked up, pushed the door, and it opened right up. No band, no nothing.
Right.
And then I said, it made me think, how many things in your life is it a visible glass door that's blocking you from getting in VIP, and you could just slide it open. People make excuses. It's mental blocks. This stuff not real. I don't know enough people. I don't got enough money to get into that. All these are visible glass doors, just like that result. And you can just slide the door open and go to your dream, man.
And I asked that because I wanted to ask Adonius. I wanted an explanation. I didn't understand. You had like a I think you named your crowd on your show. I think Invisible. Was that the name of your own crowd or something like that?
Well, I have a coaching firm. I'm the founder of it. It's called the Invisible Crown.
Right, exactly.
So my followers and the people that stands with me, I don't like followers. Right. I believe that inside of every follower, there's a leader.
Okay.
So everything that you do, every company that you have, it has a slogan to it, right? White Castles have what you crave. Nike have just do it, right? Burger King have it your way, right? So with Invisible Crown, it was achieving excellence through passion and leading leaders to leaders. So I already knew, and when I'm talking to any person, or I'm doing a one-on-one, or I'm going into a business setting, I'm looking to create success that's balanced. When I talk to this brother, I'm looking to create success that's balanced. When I go into a friendship, I'm looking for what I can do to balance me and you out, right? And when you looking at the Invisible Crown Army that's right here, those are the people that shows up to support, saying, hey, we on the front line right now. No one else coming to get you. It's an attitude, right? Attitude determines your altitude. But notice, this is what I'm bringing. So this is what LeBron has. So it's motivation and education. It's not just me trying to think, oh, I go to school and I'm going to get some money. I do this. See, remember, I had money. I did totally the opposite. So I didn't have me. So most of the time we want to cut out the middleman, but you are the middleman. You are the balance between where you're going and where you've been. A lot of us leave pain and we want to look for pleasure. You see, it's the opposite. So you look at right here, it's called a comfort zone, Dave. But your comfort zone, you get so comfortable, it's a bad place to be in because you don't want to go back to where you was instead of trying to go forward to where you need to get to. This new place here needs to be where you don't want to go back to. But see, when you're looking backwards, trying to go forward, life tells you back again with the laws. The laws, right? You can't have bad without good. Watch this. I go straight into the classroom, right? Y'all work with me for a second. What's the opposite of up? Down. Work with me for a second. What's the opposite of up?
Down.
Left.
Right.
Come on, y'all. Y'all gonna work with me for a second? Fuck this shit. Let's go. What's the opposite of fast?
Slow.
Up.
Down.
Old.
New.
Young.
Tall.
New.
Broke.
Rich.
Fixed.
Broken.
No. The opposite of broke is fixed, not rich. The opposite of broke is fixed. People think it's money. So when I go into the classrooms and do the exact same thing, they say, rich. No. Fixed. See, you have a broken financial system and you temporary without finances. You have a broken heart and you temporarily without love. So you wondering, why am I hurt? My boyfriend doesn't exist. Not in the Quran, not in the Bible. It was all created where? In your head based on what? What you think. See, you move the expectations off of someone else, right? And put them on yourself, then you'll have your full power. But see, we like to put expectations on others. And that's where the disconnect comes in at. We're not using our head.
For real.
We're trying to use somebody else. Tell me what you want. Tell me what I want what? What you want me to do. For who?
Yeah.
Whatever you want. You have to have a clear concept and an understanding of what you desire for what you participate in. A lot of times a woman thinks she can change a man. Change the damn commas in your bank account. That's what you can change. Only thing you can change is the nature of this relationship. If we ain't, hold on, bro, here's something real good. You see, in marriage, I love this thing. He married, right? It's good. But see, he got his helpmate. But if you can't find a helpmate, then maybe we need to change the relationship and maybe I need to find my soulmate. See, a soulmate goes off thinking, free will, and emotion. So I can fall in love with her thinking about her life. Her will, how she do things. Her emotion, how loving and compassionate. But if we can't be soulmates, then maybe we need to be goddamn classmates. Because at this point, she learning flipping, goddamn it, I'm learning something, she learning hair, I'm learning, and that's cool too, that's a connection. But if you can't be classmates, you need to change the relationship again, and maybe we can be teammates. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my point that I'm trying to express to you is it all starts with relationship, companionship, partnership, whatever one of these, but this goddamn book right here is why I wrote this. This shit starts with ownership. Yeah. See, he wants you to own your property, but you never own your property because you got to pay taxes. So how you own something you pay taxes on, right? So you owning a piece of property, but you ain't owning this property. You ain't owning them damn words that come out your mouth. You ain't owning the fact that you choose to listen to what you listen to. You ain't choosing to own what you looking at is what's dictating how you dreaming at night. See, you got to own the senses, where your hands go. If I touch somebody without their permission, that's rape because I'm violating somebody. You see, you have to own something. Ownership is where it starts. Next level relationship, next level communication, next level transformation, next level manifestation. What plus Y equals your results. Manifestation. But if you sitting here cutting corners, you're going to sit here and be running the church. Church didn't run you ran the church. Because you couldn't understand life and you put God in the building. So when you went there, they asked me, they meet me, apostles, bishops, ask me what's going on with the church. I say, you start off with fellowship, because fellowship meaning he can worship, right? I went to mosques where Christians was in there, all type of people, and you worshiping one God. Everybody knows this. There's so many religions that teach the same damn thing. Everybody knows this, right? But fellowship, and then here's the problem I told them. You leave them in membership. Once you got that damn membership, it's over. Right. Because now you done lost ownership. And now you trying to flex membership. Thinking your membership privileges gonna get you in the gym walking around, but them damn machines you still gotta get on. You still looking at this person like, damn, bro, how you get it up there, right? Right? But the day I don't come, and the day he consistent in coming, he's getting something out of it. You get out of every institution, my brother, except religion.
Right. So let me. Oh, you want to say something?
He was speaking on that. You married. How did the game change for you? Like once you got engaged and got married, like what do you do different? Did it better you as a man, businessman?
That's a good question. It's a hard question because I was.
Get in trouble now.
I don't think you had to change nothing. I don't think you had to change nothing. You say you didn't smoke, you didn't drink, you didn't have no habits.
Everybody got habits.
Don't be talking about drinking now.
No.
Yeah, but let's speak on that. Everybody, you don't have those habits.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Speak on
You know
that.
what I'm saying? I got other habits.
Yeah.
Like usually I got eating habits.
But I want to know
As a business.
because I want to know you personally.
For sure. And I've been hearing you on a relationship. How long you been clean, man? 90 days? No sex?
Well, about 120.
120? There you go. Good job,
I'm
man.
hurting though right now.
No, stay strong, bro. Stay strong.
I got to know,
Listen. It betters you for the fact that I talked to my friend about this. This dude, he just get to hang out late on a boat at 2 in the morning spending money. I'm like, boy, you need a wife. Because he just out here free. Nobody to tell him stop, not. Like, it's things that I just won't do. Because I know I got to be home at a respectable time. I got a whole family depending on me. So that governed my actions right there alone. Like, I can't be out at 2 o'clock doing whatever.
So, you know why I buy property from you?
Why?
Because you got foundation.
There you go.
Mentally and physically. I like that. That's a great example though.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I asked you that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Because when I saw you get married and stuff like that, I was real proud of you. I know where we come from. Especially come from the east side. We really never see couple. My mom and dad have been together 48 years. But other than that, I don't ever see it.
Yeah.
So me, I just been living like get all you can, whatever. Get money, get whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I started reaching that point in my life, and I'm just like, damn. I get to seeing people like you, see one of my other guys, see one of my other homies, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's a great feeling, especially being a black man and you doing things, you know what I'm saying? Becoming successful and stuff, so it's good to have a black queen. So.
Right, and the level of success that you achieve, like, you pretty much can have access to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you chose to deal with, you know what I'm saying, certain, how many women you want, what kind of woman you want. For you to make a conscious decision, like this is what I want to do.
Stay right there, bro.
You know what I'm saying? This is
Get the
what
word
I
right
want
there,
to do.
conscious.
This is what, you know what I'm saying? I want to hold myself responsible to this relationship.
Accountability.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, see, kind
To
of
the
like people
position.
begin to trust you more. You know, when they know you single and wild compared to a man that's married. People
Yeah,
trust you more.
stability. I mean, everything. The insurance companies trust you more.
Mhm.
If you get discounts
Yeah.
because you are. I think men need women because, like, if you, I always say this. What would I be doing if I wasn't married?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
you just
That's
got all
exactly
these
what I
options.
mean.
I don't even trust myself.
Exactly.
Like,
But see,
Exactly.
even in that area, this is why I stated to you, you learn, you unlearn, you relearn, because you only can produce the things that, you only can do what it is you have always done. Until you see something different and something interrupt that pattern, then that will create a new pattern. So for me, myself, I think like with marriage is a responsibility, right? It's not the actual individual, it's about the I do. What am I saying I do to? And what am I marrying into, right? So for me, myself, as where I'm at, I'm looking at my life right now in the type of life I want to live. I'm not looking at her, right? Or whoever is her gonna be. I'm looking at, can I bring the things to my marriage that I want my marriage to function with? Healthy, right? Healthy mentally, spiritually. Can I bring a table and have something to present? But if you even go back, like I expressed with scriptures a lot of the times when I'm helping females, it says a man, right? You gotta stop right here. A man that finds a wife. But what they don't know is at the beginning of that sentence, it says a man that's willing to leave the father, Allah, right? Jehovah, and the mother, the nurturer, right? And go out. That's what makes him a man at that point. See, a man has to become a man. And when he goes out, how do he find a wife? She already married. She's already married when the man finds her. You see, no one understands this whole mystery, but it goes like childhood, adulthood. Then he transforms you over to womanhood. You go from womanhood to a wife.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And you're waiting here to figure out what type of wife you gonna be, but you don't get married and then get you some damn practice on. Not on my beat, not at my table. But as a man, we go from a boy. See, we came into this world as two things. I'm dropping something real, and I just want to throw this out there for my audience that's watching me and for the people. That is, God only brought you into this world as two things, a boy or a girl. That's the only thing your parent wanted to know. Is it a boy or was it a girl? So that's who you are. You wasn't no damn manager. You wasn't no damn father. You wasn't no mother. You have to remove the titles. I don't give a shit about no cousin or no auntie. Those is descriptions that goes with a title that has no substance to support it. There's no support being. So as a boy, you grow into a man. As a girl, you grow into a woman. That's what you are. So he put whatever it is you see on the out of the tree, he put it in the seed. He put the man in the boy. He put the woman in the girl. And everything we want, it has to break open. There has to be a breaking in order for it to happen. And what he done, I mean, I applaud you for what he done. But for me, in the road that I had to take, because my fall was a different type of fall. But my fall is where I discovered myself at. So now it's almost like once I find who the hell I am, shit, it's hard to get me away at this point. It's like I got some features over here. I'm still learning about life. I'm learning my nod, my no, my hell no. I'm learning how to do things that I never learned before.
No, because a lot of people get in relationships like and do not know themselves. And you're developing yourself.
Yeah.
Like you say, you on the job training. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I be telling my boys, like, you know, I got one of them just graduated from college, 18, all that. I'm like, bro, don't get in no serious relationship. Don't have no kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you like right now, like a lot of people, you date towards your needs.
Yeah.
What you like right now, what you need right now, ain't gonna be what you need when you the age 30. Develop yourself. About that time, you will know exactly who you want and who you need. You know what I'm saying?
The old folks say this: money gets you the bitch you want. Struggle gets you the woman you need.
I just read that somewhere.
That's crazy, but you know what
accurate,
huh?
It's pretty accurate.
And we want and look, you want what you need in order so you can be successful. Nobody want to keep dropping down, right, bro?
Yeah, that's true. So you survived the meltdown, right?
That's
The
right.
meltdown that you have.
Today is the Mighty Monday Meltdown.
Mighty
So
Monday
that's what my
Meltdown.
podcast is called.
Oh yeah.
The Mighty Monday Meltdown.
So me watching you and paying close attention to you, I was worried about you at one point. I saw you lost your son, and I was really wondering how was you gonna handle that. And I learned a lot about you when I saw that happen. I've always loved him, had a lot of love for this guy since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? But the way I saw him handle that and deal with that, it really had touched me. I cried for you, literally. Because I knew you had a meltdown before. You know, we talked. And what got you through that moment, if you don't mind speaking about it? Because I know it's somebody else watching this that's going through a meltdown or a meltdown coming soon for them.
Mental rebound.
Well, I have to go back to when it all happened and I had to come back. I've been on this mission since 9 years, right? Training. Just like a basketball player trains, right? You don't just become the best shooter on the team and get recruited. Everybody want to just get there to that fame and force. You have to train. So I started training myself. How to say yes, how to say no, right? When I answer the phone, I wrote down on a piece of paper, if somebody asks me this, this is what I'm gonna say. If somebody say this, so when things that I didn't want in my life, and somebody have a conversation, because I didn't want to ever make you feel like we wasn't connected or anything. So if you ask me something, I say, bro, I'm not interested in that. But that was something I wrote down. So when you start practicing, you practice till you don't longer have to practice no more. And what you practice become who you are. So I started practicing doing the opposite of what I normally would do. So I started dressing, and then as time went on, I got stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where when my son, when that transpired, I was already, like, my kid's mom had moved my children away, but I always tried to go after them, right? But it was her decision in keeping my kids with them, and I'm trying to fight and pull, but I didn't have me. See, I had what I thought it should be. A lot of times, we don't have to face reality, we have to create reality. And reality is being able to deal with that particular moment in that time. And so I had people, the Invisible Crown Army, they was already on to me, and watching things, and I felt like this is a public execution that I'm finna go on and do something I totally don't want to do. If you go back to my first feeds I ever done, I kept talking in the camera saying, I started driving in the car, this is shit I don't want to do. I don't want to talk to none of you Chicago ass niggas. Period. Your mentality is fucked up. When shit went down, it's like Chicago's the only place you can watch somebody kill themselves while somebody saying, hey, hey, hey. You can drink bleach and shit. Motherfucker like, drink. And then when you drop dead, they looking like, damn, I didn't know, blood. I didn't know,
I didn't know he's gonna die.
I didn't know that, you know.
Right.
It's too fucking late. We want to show up every time after. But there's a before to the fucking after, right? So I wanted to meet people at the before. So when that transpired, my son just came back, but he was already dealing with situations from Arizona because my kid's mother, before the pandemic, homeschooled my child. So she destroyed the social development. Social is very important, teaching yourself how to talk. That's why I wanted my sons to work at a damn restaurant to know how to take orders and practice communicating with somebody they did not know. Because I know there's a communication gap. Remember, I said the tier, what we think is relationship, then communication. No, it's a lower level. So I don't take people up in success. I take their ass down. I don't build people up. I look to knock your ass down. So I'm telling you straight out the door, when people hire me to come in and motivate, whatever, I'm not here to motivate you. That's when on my feeds I say, I'm not here to agree with the way you think. I'm here to challenge the way you think, because if I challenge you to a new way of thinking, I guarantee you, you'll produce something different. So I don't look to build people up. I look to tear them down, because that's where you're going to find the foundation. With my son, and that happened, you know, that was kind of like, I saw it, but I was already into all these other kids' lives. I'm helping all these kids. And my heart going out to my child, wanting my child. But God said, that one belongs to me. See, your firstborn belongs to him, right? All these belongs to you. So here it is, I'm in the schools already, and I didn't even like kids. Let's be clear about this for the camera. I don't like children. This was not about me going to sell to children, to adults. This was my notes that I kept with my insurance policy for my children. So when I die, they ain't just getting no money, right? You can go get a $2 million policy on you, like $2 million policy on you, keep doing nothing. But when you die, you got a $2 million policy for your kids. They instantly millionaires. I'm an outside the box thinker. This shit was about me. So when I went through my meltdown, guess who needed the damn notes?
You.
Me. So I went and found the notes now, and I got to read every damn thing I wrote and see now, because you can't sell what you can't tell.
Yeah.
And when I came with this book, and after that happened, I didn't stop trying to sell no books like we keep trying to sell stuff. No, I put my book in Spanish. See, I didn't have to write another book. I changed the language. And I wanted to show my entrepreneurship that Chicago told us. You want to know what the problem is? We taught to be competitive, but we're not taught to have a relationship. That if we on the same team, then we ain't got to compete. Because when I get money, you get money. But if we look for the average people, it's if I feed you, then you feed me. If I help you, then you help me. You empty the garbage, then I'm going to reward you for doing your job. See, we do just enough to get paid. And then we understand that we turn the ability to create something bigger into something smaller. I put my book in American Sign Language. I put my book in student edition. I put my book in a workbook. I put my book in audio. I put my book, if I did it in English, I had to do it in Spanish. So I thought my shit out all the way, and I kept building. So guess what? My shit is in Spanish, proper Spanish. Went and attended a class at DePaul, hired a professor, right? That shit ran me $30,000, and I took it in payments, right? Just so when I laid my shit on the table, I came back to Chicago for one reason and one fucking reason only. And I still stand to that day. I said, was nobody going to be able to put their book next to this book but the Bible? No other book can go next to this book, because when you put this book in your presence and when you say, I am my life coach, you're not telling me I'm your life coach. You saying you your own damn life coach. So nobody owes you nothing at that moment. And from that point on, I didn't have no money, no anything, nothing but my notes. This was the manifestation. I told you all the avenues that open up. Now I'm in the schools. Now, notice, I didn't want the students. I wanted teachers. So when I came in and said, I don't want the teachers, I want the students, I want the teachers. How can you teach others and don't teach yourself? They came in, they bought my pitch. You know what my pitch was? We need to be cross-trained. Teachers need to be the students and students are the teachers. So now I tell them, as a teacher, you got 30 damn students and you need to find out what each one of these students can teach you. See? Cross-train. You need the other side to what it is you have now. Chicago got the other side. They got the hustle. You need the damn other side, which is the relationship now, so your hustle can be effective. But if you're missing the other side, then you don't got shit, and you just dribbling to the left. And when you block that side, nothing happened. When my son went down, I missed. That was the only feed I ever missed on this broadcast. I took 1 week off, gathered myself, came back, stood before him, pain in my eyes. But I understood the purpose. I understood the mission. What he was telling me, a moment of silence. What the moment of silence is for? It's so you can think. Ain't shit here, bro, but what you created. I don't want to be here. What's here? Nothing but what you created. Who you showing off for? You know, I lived in a motherfucking big-ass mansion in Florida, pool in the back, jacuzzi, everything. Lost everything, bro. There. You know why? Because Chicago mentality said, didn't nobody see me. So I came back here to Chicago at that time to be seen, because what I was taught is somebody got to see the flex. This before Instagram, bro. I can't have no car and all this bullshit and ain't nobody looking at me. You know what I'm saying? That's the understanding. So my son, he hung himself. Suicide, bro, 22. Feel me? And I'm on the front line saving other people fucking kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm in these damn schools, talk to these kids. And I didn't want kids. And guess what? Walking in the classroom, I didn't choose them. They fucking chose me. You understand? And the more I went into more classes, is the more, Coach AJ, Coach AJ, Coach AJ, you here for a good time, not a long time. They chose me, bro. So I am my life coach. It's about this. There's no role models because there's no role to model. Fuck a fireman. He said teachers didn't make no more money, so he done told everybody don't be no teacher. But guess what? You can teach them how to be their damn self, and you make a lot of money.
He told himself, man.
You know,
Yeah,
but
man.
I'm just saying,
It's fine to tell
as a
himself.
teacher, it depends on what you teaching.
Yeah.
See, the world will pay you for being you when you become you. You haven't became you, but when you become you, your lyrics on the damn rap songs will get better because you are you. But you don't have to stay in that condition. You can see your way out this condition. And every music that makes it is always the authentic that sit here and get the breakthrough. So we got shit built up, right? We got to break it down. We got to find the breaking point, and then we got to break through. That's the weakest point. So look for the weakest point in you and become strong in that point.
You know what? Like as a man who went through something all his life in the early years, like we started out when we first did this podcast, and shout out to Trez. He was like, man, y'all need to always talk about solutions.
Yeah.
Find a way, like
Results.
because we always talk about problem. What's the problem with Chicago? What's the problem with black men? What's the problem? So we never get no solution.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a big shout out to you guys, and there's a question at the end of this, right? I think confidence amongst black men. You know what I'm saying? Like once you flip your first property, you feel like, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like forget the applause outside, 'cause that's gonna come, right? I'm proud of you because they used to us not doing nothing. You see what I'm saying? They so used to us not doing nothing. If we get a job, we get
Trophy.
you get every trophy.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, bro, that's just $12. You know what I'm saying? But once you get to once you sold your first shirts or gave your first shirt to your first artist, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you saw your shit, it's like nah, like I really could do this shit. You know
But
what I'm saying?
you got to ask
So-
yourself, what's your definition of success, though?
Yeah.
Right, but I think young black men in inner cities do not have confidence in doing other shit. I feel like once they hit that first home run, get out of his way.
Yeah.
Cause he's gonna get hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin, he just came home from jail. He been doing jail his whole life. He put up on me the other day on 60 nights and hosted. He like, I want to show you this first. And I'm like, what? Like my 18, what I bought it. I say 40,000, and I saw. I'm like, he ain't never going back to jail.
But see,
I like, he ain't never going. It ain't the money.
how much
It ain't
time
nothing.
he had
It's
to be by himself,
it's
though.
the
He
confidence.
didn't even take confidence. He learned that probably from you.
Oh,
Because he tagged
I'm-
me.
yeah,
Thanks for the conversation.
yeah,
He
yeah,
tagged
That's
you.
pretty
So,
much confidence, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, but
putting
it's
in
the
yourself.
know-how.
Okay.
The
yeah.
know-how.
Cause he
Well,
was.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's both of them. But
Yeah.
once somebody shows you something, it's just like when I opened up my first store.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody teach me that shit.
Just hop
Yeah.
in and learn.
You know what I'm saying? But me, you gotta be willing to take risks.
Yeah.
Like he take risks.
But when you flip them keys though, you like, damn, you be in that bitch by yourself, you like,
Bro,
whoa, I'm doing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
I believe confidence is a key to all success. Like
Yeah.
people just gravitate to confidence. Like if I'm in here, like maybe I can help you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Nah, nah.
Yeah,
like, you can do
like,
this.
yeah, I'm good.
And what you talking about is just the self confidence of knowing you can achieve it.
Yeah.
It's like in teaching, like you give people small tasks.
You finna say something
So,
good?
Good at teaching, bro. You got these bad kids kicking you, and you get paid $50,000, and you can just flip a prop now.
Right.
No, but listen, every step. That's why measuring sticks. You give people things to be successful, and I notice this with agents, because working off commission, it's a high turnover on real estate brokers. You get paid off commission. You eat what you kill, basically. But when you set somebody up for a good deal, like you can do the deal for them and let them take it across the finish line. They like, I closed my first deal. Now they know it's possible. Now they working, and they working with a different edge because they know they can close a deal. When you're not sure, this like, am I wasting my time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, people ask us all the time, man, they wasting my time. Am I wasting my time? I done tried and no deals closed. But after they close the first one, then the deal start rolling in. Blah, 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 blah. And I think it's got to do.
And you're a teacher, though.
You
I
see that
watched you
question he
teach.
asked the stuff, though?
Yeah.
See, that question was a voice that says, am I wasting my time? And somebody next to him saying, you are wasting your time, bro. That's the dumbest ass idea I ever
Somebody
heard.
say, yeah.
And that's the bad thoughts that I'm trying to express to you. Sometimes the triggers, you got to know your triggers, man. I was at church, and I was in the church. Nobody can tell me that shit, I wasn't going to heaven. I used to praise dance. I stopped dancing, bro, footworking, and went into church and started praising for God, bro, thinking I was doing what I was doing, right?
Absolutely.
But they came in one day, and I'm so in it because I want something new, but I don't know what new is it that I want. That's an adrenaline, right? They said, everybody put their head down. There's 200 men in here, right? And he's like, who think that God told you to teach? I raised my hand, about 6 others decided leave out the room. So we all out in the hallway and shit. Oh shit, okay. We out here. They said this is what we need to do. We meet on Tuesdays, Thursdays. We got 4-hour classes. We got 6 sessions, I believe. And I'm sitting here in my word. I'm trying to get ready. The session before the last one, right? I sit here and I go up into the minister at the end. I'm like, this is a big church on the rise, right? I said, I don't think I'm being called to be a teacher here, right? He said, bro, you got it, bro. You been here, what you mean? I said, because y'all don't teach what I believe in, what I teach. He said, well, shit, what we teach? I said, y'all teach fear. He said, well, what you gonna teach? Respect. See, you fear what you respect. When you know what you know, that's where your confidence goes. See, I'm confident in what I know. So when I come here, I don't try to tie my shoe, I tie my shoe. We don't try to breathe, we breathe. But if you take a fish out of the water, he can't swim, right? You take the bird and put him in the cage, he can't fly. For a lot of us in our mind, we can't create because it's not that we can't do what we've been created to do. You have to find out who unplugging the water. Because you could swim, but if you don't have no water, then your ass can't swim. You could be a police officer, but if I don't do no crime, then your work is meaningless, right? It don't work. Only if somebody is sick, then you become a doctor. But if I ain't sick, then I don't need your service. But when you become a respectable person, you gonna need me as a friend because what I deliver and what I bring, you know what I'm saying? And that's the way I think. So you have to think. It's an amazing book. It's the #2 selling book in the world, bro. It's called Think and Grow Rich. Rich is what you produce. Money is last on the list. But if you don't have no value, flipping buildings and buying buildings and the financial capital, everybody want something that's seen, thinking it's going to change something that's unseen. That's why it says, what is a person to gain the world and lose what?
Everything.
So, you want to lose before you gain? I want to gain what I see, and I'm going to lose me. So that's why people are unhappy. That's why you don't have joy. You can't buy joy, happiness, the type of peace you have, he have. You can't buy this shit at Gucci. You see, but when you see somebody walking in Gucci, and you want that walk, because you see it, you want that smile like, that's that damn Fendi suit he got on. You see, he rolled up in that car and shit. That's why he's smiling. I want that smile. No, bro. It's an inside job. So I wrote a book that's an inner concept. I trademarked it before the book even came. Never wrote a book a day in my life, bro. So you got to get what I'm saying. Coming from St. Louis, I trademarked the book. I trademarked I Am My Life Coach. They argue with me back and forth. This is entrepreneurship. Thinking it out. They said, how can you trademark a word, a phrase? I said, I'm talking to myself. I'm saying, say it out your mouth. They're like, I am my life coach. I said, say it again. I am my life coach. You're talking to your damn self. So you take the responsibility off somebody else because I am is the power of creation. Like abracadabra means I create what I speak. So if I point to this and if I want something, I'm going to say abracadabra. I create what I speak. What plus Y equals results. Whatever it is that I think of, this is called imagination. This is called dreams. This is called ideas. Once you can see it, then that means it's available, right? Now you have to come back down and your senses start picking things up. I'm going to show you something real quick before I go. Your senses start picking things up. And what you're picking up is this a negative thinking or is it positive? I'm willing to bet the environment got you thinking you can't have that because you don't have this. I ain't got no money, this will never happen, I can't pay this, he look at her, I never find a marriage like her, he found a white one, I'm looking for my right one. Huh?
That's the invisible glass door.
So he used the invisible glass door. We sitting here pulling the door and the damn door say push. You see, it's what you see. Somebody put something up, right? Let me show you this real quick. This is good. Watch this. Is something on this paper here, you guys? Something on this paper? I say nothing on this paper. You say something on this?
I say nothing on
You say something on this, right? You see something, right?
Read it.
You see something. Now watch this. Is something on this paper?
I don't see nothing.
I say something on this paper. You
I
see,
can't read it.
it's where I'm seeing versus what you seeing.
Right.
See, you seeing this part, I'm seeing this part. So I'm seeing what you in. You in something, so you only can see what you can see. I'm not in what you in. So I see that you can accomplish what you set out to accomplish, but you study telling yourself, man, I can't do all that, bro. I ain't skilled like that. I said, bro, I see what you can do, bro. I see you can accomplish it. But see, you need a coach, which is a voice. That coach will be you. This book helps you be a better you so that you can be you for somebody else to want to be you. They will listen to you. And that's what I said. There's no roles to model, but you have to become the role. And when you become a leader, I didn't want to teach nobody but my damn self. And guess what? That shit started drawing all type of energy. And I wasn't thinking about nobody because nobody was thinking about me. But when they sent my ass to California, everybody was talking about me. In my head, I'm thinking, damn. They saying I'm crazy. I done lost it. This motherfucker jumped out the window there and got on the phone. You see, bad publicity is still publicity. So at the end of the day, you got to understand what are they marketing. So if they going to market you wrong, then nigga, you grab that energy and you making them market something right about you.
Yeah.
Even if you have to let him know, bro, don't say that teaching shit no more if we shut a stage. Because at the end of the day, let's be clear about something. You know, it's to save a life. Is to find your life. You want to save somebody, save you.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You save you, then you will know how to save somebody else.
Yeah, I always say that like I'm like, my purpose is being an example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't about my bank account. It ain't about like I set out to accomplish more shit. I'll be like, don't ever settle. Just because you open this business, you know what I'm saying? People like, oh, he gonna get comfortable. He gonna get comfortable in the barbershop. He open a bar. Nah, fuck that. I'm on my next. When the barbershop lights off, I'm on my next move. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the only way you could be an example. You keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you need, bro, if I can give you anything, you still need that foundation. Anything that's at the bottom settles, right?
Absolutely.
So that's the foundation, as he said. Once you have the settling of discipline, that's something to ground to. See, his marriage had to settle. Everything had to ground, and then from that point on, it was like, I want this. Okay, man, I want that. It's the same system. It does not change. What plus Y equals your results. Once you ground it, see, the disciples of Jesus was self-discipline.
Right.
Discipline is the same word. You change one letter out and switch it. It's discipline. Disciple is discipline. IDP is discipline. Self-discipline. Any teacher, from Elijah to any other teacher, all said the exact same thing, bro. Gain self-control. I had to tell this group of kids. I said, you guys, what y'all like to play? Who got the Xbox? Who got the fucking PlayStation, right? You got to get into their mental. I said, what is it called? The video game is called a game console, right? What do you need? Everybody say remote control, right? It's the same damn thing. This is the human console. What you installing in here, what do you need to play it? Not remote controls, you need self-control.
Right.
But if you don't have self-control, you will lose control, spin out of control. Your ass will be remote controlled by institution, hospitals, social media, alcohol, pills and weed, whatever it is, because you're being remote controlled by a controlled substance.
Right.
But if you would have grounded yourself, you didn't need that controlled substance to get where you're going. See, that's the power of I am. I am, is ownership. Life is what I have. Coach, so you ask yourself, is you running from life or do you want to live life? Because if you're running, then you ain't even accepted life for what it is. You've been running all your fucking life. But if you want to live life, then if you're not living, then you dying.
Right. Well,
Coach, so perspective, you are a teacher, and I watched you teach your field.
Yeah.
Teaching.
I teach.
But I like info and knowledge, man, and I want you to explain to me and others, because there's gonna be a lot of people new into real estate as well, on how easy it is, for how long you've been in this field, to still miss something. As I previously saw you say, you missed something in a deal, and it didn't go through by the Obama Center. But when I went to look, I'm like, damn, he been in, say, like 18 years. How did he miss something? You know what I'm saying? So just dropping some knowledge on me as some new people and newer real estate people, how is that even still possible to miss something being in the field that long?
Okay. So what he's speaking of, and this actually happened twice.
Oh, okay.
Crazy, but around the same time. Like anything in life, you gotta do your due diligence and research up front, like you've done. So we did look up this property. It's a property in Woodlawn, right by the Obama Center. And when we purchased the property, it had what's called a lien, a task force violation, basically. That means something happened at the property and the police get involved. So somebody could have got shot at the property, drugs, the police come, and now they put the police call the city out and like tag this property up, something happened. So they want to put all kind of violations on it, shut it down.